It's true. Word, 2 or 3 witnesses so it can be confirmed. To you, my YAHWEH, I lift up my soul. And trust in you, he always kept me whole. And left my enemies deep in their holes. Let none that wait on YAHWEH be ashamed. But shame on those who sin without a cause. Show me your ways, please teach me your laws. Oh Elohim of my salvation, I'm staying down and patient. As a child, all the while I'm waiting. Remember not the sins of my youth. Lead me in your truth, and he'll give your soul ease. The earth shall remain inherited by a seed. The secret of YAHWEH who fears Elohim, a fool believes everything. And to every word spoken, you can't take heed unless you hear somebody curse. You know you did the same thing. That's why I'm begging y'all for mercy and this love and kindness, cause I know that I ain't worthy.
Scattered across the 7 seas, captivity is taking hold upon me. Put frighten me and now we flee from fallen leaves. The clouded grief from all the blood our people seen, and now we cry, where is the word from Elohim? And so we said that we are his wives to be submissive, but we dismissed it. It is of this reason we have fallen victim to the lies that your root will prey and pursue. Rebellious of his son, forgotten that he is one. Broken the holy ordinance, rejection of reproof. Then acknowledge what we do. Now we return back to the truth.
Yah's word is the truth. Yah's decrees is the proof. Local 12 just released the scoop. It's the summer of Sam. They calling his hand. Made us worship the Son of Man. And somehow that the moon, they stole our style and gave it to Rothschild. Now we exalt the vow, but hit the turnstile. Yah's Nabi set the crooked things straight. Praise Yah from the rising to the evening to the closing the gates. Exposing the fake. Yah give the truth a daybreak. Now the liars can't escape, and the haters can't relate to the light that truth make. See the wicked's pride deflate. Ye adore Yah, magnify Yah, cause it's great.
All Yah give is truth. All Yah teach is truth.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. For YAHWEH is righteous, YAHWEH is holy, and let YAHWEH be magnified. Shalom, shalom. I am Moreh Naphtali, here with you once again, bringing you nothing but the truth. And when you're dealing with nothing but the truth, you must be dealing with the truth of YAHWEH. His true unadulterated word, his true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So I praise the Almighty YAHWEH for this great blessing, this great opportunity that he's given myself and all those that's listening in to indulge in knowledge, to indulge in truth. For we know, as it is recorded in the book of Micah, the 6th chapter, that this is one of the things that we're doing this evening. Yahweh delights in it. And if he delights in this, that means he loves it. In the book of Micah, the 6th chapter, it says in the 6th verse, wherewithal shall I come before Yahweh and bow myself before the high Elohim? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings and with calves of a year old? And that's a very, very good question for those that's trying to come before Yah. So those that's trying to approach unto the Almighty, they're trying to figure out, how can I approach unto him? Will Yahweh be pleased with thousands of rams, or with 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? Well, he's done shown thee, O man. And if he showed it to you, that means he had to teach you. He had to tell you his words of truth. Because you can't come before Yahweh the way you feel you think you can. And see, we get wrapped up in our feelings. We get wrapped up in our own knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And we begin to hate the Almighty, because Yahweh won't fit the mold that you have in your thoughts. Have you ever talked to a family member and you would tell them laws and commandments, and they will frown their face and question you as if they're questioning you? But no, they're not questioning you. They're questioning the Almighty. Because when you bring his laws and commandments, that's his words. And at the point that you frown your face up and say, why is that? Why is this? This is not how you want to come before Yah. If you want to come before Yah, you must be ready to learn. And then you will understand why people have to die. Why your mother went so young. Why your father went so old. You figure, man, my father should have died before my mom. My older brother should have died before my younger brother. All these questions have true answers to them. And a lot of times we don't understand the answer. We don't understand the reasons. And since we don't, we hate the Almighty. Because in our minds, we feel like this thing should be going a whole nother way. If there was truly a creator in this earth, and there was truly a almighty power, why is he letting this go on and that go on? Young babies. And I don't even have to speak of the atrocities. We know the darkness that's in this world. And we blame it on the Almighty. And yes, you should blame it on him, because there is no evil in the city that he hasn't done. But there's purpose in everything. And Yahweh is righteous in all his ways, whether you understand it or not. He's the creator. And you truly don't have no right to frown your face and question the creator, unless you want to learn something. But I will read further, even though this is not even the exact scripture, but Yahweh led me here, so I'm going to read it. He have showed thee, O man, what is good. What does Yahweh require of thee but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your Elohim? And now let's go over to the book of Hosea, the 6th chapter. And I always like to invoke the spirit of this verse so we can know that those of us that's gathered ourselves together this evening through mind and through spirit, We're all gathered together as one to indulge in Yahweh's truth, to indulge in his knowledge. This is not a vain thing. You might have been doing vanity all day long, but at the point that you're taking time out of your life right now to indulge in knowledge, to listen to knowledge, to see, is Yahweh bringing us truth, Yahweh feeding us, because you should be what? Seeking the Almighty. And the only way you can seek the Almighty is if you listen, pay attention, sit down, take time out. And this is what we're doing this evening. Hosea, the 6th chapter, look what it says in the 6th verse. And let me start, the 5th verse, Hosea 6 and 5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I've slain them by the words of my mouth. Thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. And look what it says further. I desire mercy. That's what I desire. And as Yahweh said, a wife, her desire is supposed to be unto her husband. And you go all over the book and study this word desire, and you will come to an understanding that desire is something that you have out of your lust. It's out of your love. It's out of your want. Even your needs, because we even, a lot of times we might not desire our needs, but most of the time, if you need it, you want that thing. You desire it at the point that you really need it. He said, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of Elohim more than burnt offerings. So he's letting you know he desired the knowledge of Elohim more than burnt offerings. This is what he desired. This is what he loved. This what he delights in. And why? Because Yahweh put this earth here for his desire. And the only way you're going to fulfill his desire is if you learn how to do so. Which means what? To fulfill Yahweh's desire as his servant, you must learn knowledge, you must learn wisdom, and you must learn understanding. And when he sees his sons and daughters, and the creations, or creatures, in this earth, taking time, instead of spending time, wasting time, spending time on vanity, they spending time trying to learn how to serve their maker. Wow, that is beautiful. No wonder why Yahweh, that's it, that's his desire. He loves it. And that's what we're dealing with tonight. You heard a great presentation last night of talking about the haters of Yah. And how can you deal with hate without dealing with love? You can't even understand hate unless you understand love. And tonight we will deal with the lovers of Yahweh. Because we know how the haters look. They hate Yah. They hate his servants. They hate his name. They hate his word. They hate his laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments. But then when you look at the lovers of the Almighty, how does that look? Let me show you real quick. In the book of Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter. This is what we should be spending our time doing. And you don't have to make it more complicated than what it truly is. Yahweh said, love him. Do you know how to love? And if I ask you this question, you say, yes, I do. I know how to love. And I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Even though the Almighty said you don't even know love nor hate of all that's before you. Because until you truly learn how to love your maker, how can you love anything? But at the end of the day, maybe you do understand a little bit about love. Because you love your mother, you love your father. Some of us do. You love your wife. You love your sons and daughters. You love your best friend. Matter of fact, you even love yourself. So we don't have to make it more complicated. Let's just deal with the love we know. Do you love the Almighty as much as you love yourself? Because a lot of times the Almighty don't even get that much love. As much as you love yourself, when you should love your Maker more than yourself. Do you love the Almighty as much as you love your mother, your father? Or do you put them above the Almighty as well? Do you love the Almighty more than your own sons and daughters? In Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, it says in the 12th verse, and now Israel, what does Yahweh require of thee? And he said, I done shown thee, old man was good. I done taught you these things. Because if I didn't teach you these things, then how can I hold you accountable for anything? When I never even taught you. I never even put the knowledge and wisdom and understanding in the world. I never sent no teachers, no prophets, or nothing. You don't know nothing. So how can I even hold you accountable? But no, I've shown you what's good. I've shown you what I require of thee, but to fear Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him. This is what we should be focusing on, loving the Almighty. How can I show Yahweh today that I love him? The day is over now. How can I show Yahweh tonight that I love him? Well, the night is over now. Well, he blessed me to see a new day. How can I show him I love him today? He blessed me with another night. How can I show him I love him tonight? Well, when you look at this word love in these scriptures, and you define this word love in the scriptures, because the truth is this: you must have knowledge to love the Almighty. You can't just pick up love and think that I'm going to take the tradition of love and what I've been handed down by my fathers, my mother. No, I really got to let Yahweh show me what love is. Look in the book of 1 Chronicles, the 29th chapter. This word is defined by actually one word. And this one word goes deep. This one word is heavy. So it don't mistake its importance and its vitalness because it's just one word. Yahweh said every word of Yah is pure. And this one word called love, you look it up in your concordance, and it'll take you to this word right here. Let me show you. 1 Chronicles 29. We're going to read just about 3 verses. And in these 3 verses, you're reading about this man named David, which he has a lot to do with love. For his name means loving. The root word of his name is beloved. But his actual name means loving. And this man, David, the reason why I can see Yahweh gave him that name, because you won't see nobody in the scriptures that exemplifies the volume of love to Yah more than anybody. Abraham proved to the Almighty that, Yah, I don't love my son more than you. And here it is, I've been waiting 99 years to get a son. Yes, it's been in the back of my mind. Yes, it's been in my heart because I'm wondering, am I going to leave my legacy and my inheritance and my blessing to one that's born in my house? Or is my heir going to be one that's born from my own seed? One that I can look at and say that is my blood, my flesh and bone, and he's going to carry out my name throughout this earth. And been waiting all this time. And he finally get him. He finally sees him. He finally able to lay eyes on him. The one, not his firstborn, but the one that Yahweh said, there he is. That's the one that I told you that I'm going to establish a covenant with. I'm going to establish a covenant with him. And through him, your seed, it's going to be a multitude of a nation. And what did he do? He showed the Almighty, I still love you more, as much as I love this boy, as much as I love my wife. I love my wife, but I love you more, Yahweh. And King David, a man that Yahweh said, this man is a man after my own heart. And there is nobody more loving than Yah. His loving kindness is throughout this earth, throughout the universe. There is nobody more loving than Yah. And at the point that he put this accolade on this man, it lets you know when it comes to a man loving the Almighty as much as Abraham did, and Isaac and Yaakov, the one that Yahweh picked from the vine to exemplify love for him, is David. That's why his name is what it is. And look what it says. Let me show you how this man exemplifies the love of the Almighty. He defines it in the testimony of his life. Furthermore, in the first verse of 1 Chronicles 29, furthermore, King David said unto all the congregation, Solomon, my son, whom alone Elohim hath chosen, is yet young and tender, and the work is great, for the place is not for man, but for Yahweh Elohim. See, that's one that loves the Almighty. He always has it on his mind that I sanctify the Almighty. I separate Yahweh from man. I'm not looking at Yahweh like I look at man. I have a father, but Yahweh is my almighty father. I got a mother, but Yahweh said a mother might forget you, but I will never forget you. Yahweh is to be separated and sanctified because there is none like him. And so if you do a garden for Yah, this ain't like man's garden. You better put some reverence on that garden if you're doing it for Yah. You build a house for Yah, put some reverence on that house because it ain't a normal house. It's a house for Yah. How can you treat anything that you're doing for the Almighty as if you're doing it for man? He said, listen, this house, it's a great work ahead of this young man that's young and tender. For the palace, it's not for man, but for Yahweh Elohim. Now look what he says further. Now, I've prepared with all my might for the house of my Elohim, because that's how a person talk when they love the Almighty. They don't say the Elohim and the Creator. No, it says my Elohim, my Father, my Creator, my Abba, because he's mine and I love him. And that's how he taught. He said, this is my Elohim. The gold for things to be made for gold. The gold for the things to be made for gold, and silver for the things of silver, the brass for things of brass, the iron for things of iron, wood for things for wood, onyx stones, stones to be set, glycerin stones, diverse colors, and all manner of precious stones, marble stones, in abundance. He took this and says, I prepare with all my might for the house of my Elohim. All these things. Look what it says further. Moreover, in the third verse. And to mind you, the third requirement is to love Yahweh. That's the third requirement. Out of all 7 of the requirements, which is recorded in the book of Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter, the 3rd verse. The 12th verse. The third requirement is to love the Almighty. And look at this 3rd verse. Moreover, because I have set my affection. And when I seen this word affection, it was beautiful. It was heavy and deep. Because when I actually took the time to look up the word love, that's exactly what it means. Affection. I said, well, since it means affection, and then you look up affection and see what it means to have a burning, a kindling, a fire, a desire that's in you. That's why you would go heads over heels for that woman. That's why you'll go heads over heels for that man. That's why you will go all out for that car and that house, because you got a burning desire. The money burning in your pocket. You can't wait to spend it because you burning. That's what desire do. That's what love do. It burns in you. You desire it. You want it. You lust for it. And when I looked this word affection up, I found something that was very great. This is the only place in the scriptures. You'll see love all over the scriptures. But when you see the word that defines love, which is affection, you only see it one place in the scriptures. One place. And we're reading it now here in 1 Chronicles 29, verse 3. Moreover, because, King David says, I set my affection to the house of my Elohim. I have of my own proper good, of gold, silver, which I have given to the house of my Elohim, over and above all that I have prepared for the house, for the holy house. This hits me like a ton of bricks, because he said I went over and above. He's an overachiever for the Almighty Yah. This is what Yahweh want to see. Overachievers. They trying to go over and beyond for Yahweh. They ain't trying to settle for less when it come to Yah. Why you think Cain wasn't accepted and his brother was? Because, his offering, his sacrifice obviously wasn't right. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't whole. He didn't go the extra mile for the Almighty like Abel did. And it's an example of love and hate. He hated the Almighty, but he loved himself. Because the best he saved for himself, and the less he tried to give it to the Almighty. But no, Abel loved Yah. So he brought something acceptable to the Almighty. And because his acceptable sacrifice, he was hated for it. He was hated for it. And ultimately, his life was taken because of his love for Yah. And Cain killed him because of his hate for Yah. His hate went beyond Abel. He hated the Almighty. He hated the word of the Almighty. He hated the decision and the thoughts and the mind and the spirit of Yah. You're going to accept this man over me? You're going to accept this man and not me? Yahweh heard every negative and wicked thing in his heart that stirred him up to do the ultimate wickedness, murder his own brother. But here it is. We got laws where the Almighty says you supposed to love your brother as yourself. And if you love and truly love the Almighty, you would love your brother as yourself. But that don't mean that your brother always going to be happy. Because the truth is, the righteous do love their brothers. They love their brothers. But you will find that a lot of times you will get hate for your love. You will get scorned for your love. I just want to shine a light a little bit more on this because King David, just within these 3 verses, gave us so much. He said he set his affection, his burning desire, his love to the house of Elohim. And then here it is today. We're not in the land, but the Almighty told us in the book of Ezekiel, the 11th chapter, the 16th verse, therefore say, thus says Yahweh Elohim, although I cast them far off amongst the heathens, away from this land and the temple and the house of the Almighty, I'm going to cast them amongst the heathens. And although I've scattered them amongst these polluted countries, and yes, I added that word because I know already from the word and the volume of the book, and we know there is no mystery. These countries are polluted. And Yahweh knew they was polluted before he sent us to these countries. Although I've scattered them amongst the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. I'm going to be a little sanctuary to them. And what is a sanctuary? A sanctuary is a sanctified place. Sanctuary is a rod. What is a rod? Something that keeps you in line. Something that helps straighten you out. And that's what the sanctuary has always done for our people. When Yahweh took the sanctuary away from us, we were completely polluted, completely abominable. But when Yahweh gave us a sanctuary, then we had hope in our midst, light in our midst. Yahweh said, I'm going to be a little sanctuary to you in the countries you should come. And then our people will tell us that Yahweh don't have no temples. He don't have no sanctuaries. We in captivity in the land of our enemies. But here it is. Yahweh said, I'm going to be a little sanctuary. Well, no, that's just talking about he is going to be a sanctuary to us. Yes, he is. And how do Yahweh manifest that? He a sanctified place, put his servants in it, and gather the people together so they can come out. Gather the people together so they can feed the poor. Gather the people together so they can do all kind of servitude that they would never do unless they had a sanctuary. Praise the mighty Yah. He just blessed us to get back on our grind, feeding the poor, clothing the poor, giving them necessities, things that they need because they the needy. And we went out there and fed over 150. And plus blessed them, right? But you think the people would be doing stuff like that if they didn't have a sanctuary? No. I don't see it done. I don't see it being done. I don't see people getting stirred up, inspired to do such a thing. And maybe some people sometimes get inspired, but no, this ain't about being inspired one day. You just saw a movie and got inspired the next day and you done hopped up and did something good. Praise the mighty Yah, you did something good for a change. But no, when you're inspired by the Almighty, the good is everlasting. It don't stop. It won't stop. It can't stop. It's a ministry. And so when you love the Almighty, it has to manifest like David's love. Where's your affection? Where's your burning desire? And at the end of the day, look what it says in a book of Leviticus, the 26th chapter. People say, man, Yahweh don't have no sanctuary here. But Yahweh said, I'm going to be a little. Well, no, that's talking about him. You have a little sanctuary in your home and your house. And my house is a little. No, how's your house and your home bringing praises to the Almighty? And one said, man, my house should bring praise to the house. Yes, it should. But Yahweh, you got to know, just like David separated Yah and man, that's your house. Separate Yahweh from your house. Sanctify Yahweh from your house. Yahweh too great and too big for your dwellings. He need his own house, his own dwellings, where this house don't serve no other purpose. You can't bring your family in there just to have a vain dinner. You can't bring your family in there and your friends in there to have a vain party and have a kick at night and a sleepover. That ain't Yahweh's house. Only serves one purpose, and that's the servitude of the Almighty. That's his praise, his words. That's what Yahweh's house does. I praise Yah. In the beginning, when we embarked upon establishing a new sanctuary by reasons of Yahweh's judgment, he led us to do it. And we end up landing in the house, a beautiful, nice house as well, but it was Moreh Elisha's house. And I'm like, man, how did this end up happening? We in Moreh Elisha's house having a Sabbath day with our little small congregation that those who followed our leadership. And I said, man, this is beautiful. This is a sign we supposed to be here. But we was there because Moreh Elisha began to rent out this house for Moreh Elisha's daughter. And him being a servant, we ain't had nowhere to go. He got a big, beautiful house as Moreh Elisha. Let's keep the Sabbath day here. And I said to myself, man, that's where we're supposed to be. But Moreh Elisha said, listen, we can't just stay here. I'm saying, man, free rent. This thing is, we don't need to go nowhere else. But I just couldn't see that, no. This was this man's dwelling. This was temporary. We had to get Yahweh his own house. I don't care if it's a little hole in the wall, 1907 Vine Street. It's Yah's and it's only his. And ain't no man sleeping in there and doing nothing in there but coming there when he's ready to put on his work clothes and serve the Almighty. Period. Leviticus, the 26th chapter. Just remember, this man whose name was Loving, and he was a great loving man, and people loved him as well. You won't see a more popular man that was just loved and beloved of the people so much. And the reason why is because Yahweh loved him so much. And so Yahweh put his love on everybody's spirit and everybody's heart. And now everybody loved David because Yahweh loved David. And why Yahweh loved David so much? Because David loved him so much. And David let you know, if you love the Almighty, set your affection into the house of Yah. Because that shows now you can put your love to work. Love is action, right? Now you can put that love to work. Now you can put your money where your mouth is, your servitude where your mouth is, all of that. Because now we know Yahweh got a house. Excuse me. Let's get to this Leviticus, the 26th chapter, verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am Yahweh. This is what you should be doing. Reverencing my sanctuary. And excuse me, let me read that one more time. Ye should keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. And why? Because the Sabbath and the sanctuary go hand in hand. And what is the Sabbath day all about? Those that love the Almighty, they love the Sabbath day. Because the Sabbath day, Yahweh said, is set aside and set apart. It's the seventh day. It's sanctified. He blessed it, hallowed it. And now Yahweh said, this is the day that you're going to exclusively honor me and delight in me and show me that you love me. Show me your burning desire and affection today by giving me your full attention. But of course, the Sabbath day come, maybe Yahweh get 10, 20, 30% of the attention. It's like a man take his woman out on the anniversary, been married for 20 years, and she got some nice things for him, and he supposed to have some nice things for her, but when they go out, half the time that they was out, he was on a cell phone. Half the time he was out, he was looking at other women. He didn't give his attention, not his full attention. And is that an example of love? A burning desire? Is that the example of affection? Well, we know the answer to that if we honest with ourselves. But Yahweh said, keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. And listen, we have those that obviously you can't love the Almighty if you don't love his commandments. And you will wait to the Sabbath day to speak against your own brothers and sisters that's keeping the Sabbath day. What's the love in that? That ain't love for your brothers, and that ain't love for the Almighty. Look what it says in the book of Psalm 63. And it's the truth. If you don't love the Almighty, you ain't going to love your brothers. And if you hate your brothers, how can you love Yahweh? When Yahweh said, I want you to love your neighbor as yourself. Even when they not doing things that you think they should do, you just listen, hope for the best. But you don't stir yourself up in the spirit of hate. Yahweh's the judge. He's going to handle them. He's going to deal with them. It's his sons and daughters, not yours. So when they fooling, they fooling. But we stirring ourselves up in the affection of the Almighty, not stirring ourselves up in hatred, not stirring ourselves up in strife and debate with one another. That ain't our fast. The fast that we're supposed to be doing is the fast of Yah. And what is that fast at the end of the day? It's a fast that shows that you love the Almighty. Psalm 63, verse 1. O Elohim, thou art my Elohim. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is. If you thirsting for the Almighty, you ain't got no time for scorning. You ain't got no time for foolishness. You ain't got time to be making some kind of stands and proclamations against your brothers and sisters. I ain't even trying to put that kind of laundry out there. That's dirty laundry, and I don't want to put that out there. Even if I got some feeling, I'm going to hold that in the back here. What I want to disclose darkness and foolishness for? No, man, I'm thirsty for the Almighty. That's what this brother's saying. To see thy power, thy glory, so as I've seen thee in the sanctuary. Because guess what? You ain't seen the Almighty until you go to the sanctuary. This is how it all happens. Yeah, you're supposed to be righteous every single day of the week. Yahweh want to see how you get up in the morning and show your sons by example of being a man, being a husband, These is ways of righteousness. He wants you to show your family how to be a brother, a best friend, a friend. He wants you to show all of this. But you still don't know, and you ain't seen nothing until you get to that sanctuary. And when you get to the sanctuary, this is when you're going to truly begin to see and understand the power of the Almighty. You can feed the poor you should be trying to feed the poor some kind of way. Even if you just every day put up something, I'm putting this up for the poor, putting it up for the poor, and then you wait for the opportunity at the end of the week and say, now all week I've been putting up for the poor, and now, boom, I'm bringing it forth so we can make this thing happen on a bigger scale. Because when you serve Yah, you on bigger scales, not just your own little house, not just your own little $1, $2 you got in your pocket. That's why Yahweh say, gather yourselves together, because this is bigger than you. Gather my saints together, those that made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And what kind of covenant? It's a covenant of marriage, a covenant of love, a burning affection for the Almighty. That's why you're going to make sacrifices. He says, to see your power in the sanctuary. In the third verse, we at the third verse once again, because your loving kindness is better than life. And yes, Yahweh's loving kindness is better than life. Because life without Yahweh's loving kindness, it gets kind of ugly. It gets real ugly, actually, where people just want to die, kill themselves. Look what it says in Psalm 73. Psalm 73. And I'll read this, but I got to get to showing you the love. But let's read this real quick. Hopefully you understand why I went here. This is King David. And excuse me, this is the Psalm of Asaph. He says that, until I went into the sanctuary of Elohim, then understood I their end. And the truth is this: you're not understanding nothing, you're not doing nothing, you don't have no relationship with the Almighty without the sanctuary. And a lot of us, in our rebellion, in our foolishness, we say, man, I got a relationship. No, you don't. See, when you have a relationship with the Almighty, even before you get to the sanctuary, ultimately, he's going to lead you to his sanctuary. That's what he did with Abraham. Abraham had a relationship with the Almighty, but he didn't even know the Almighty. But what Yahweh do? It's time for you to depart from your family. And I'm about to take you over here. And what happened? The Almighty brought him to the gates of heaven. The Almighty brought him to the place where his everlasting sanctuary will be. And he knew it. He felt it. He seen it in his dreams, in his visions. Jacob made a vow, took a stone. He said, I got to make a sanctuary, a holy place. And he made it out of uncut stones. And that's where he would take portions out of his portion and burn it unto the Almighty. Because he said, it's not mine. And when this smoke go up, Yahweh can do whatever he want with it. He can turn it back into what it was before it got burned, whatever it is. But the whole point and example was that I'm sacrificing this thing for Yah. To the point where now it's no longer mine. It wasn't mine from the beginning. And I had to make a little sanctuary, a place where I will bring that sacrifice. So the righteous of our people, they never even attempted, they never even tried to serve Yah without a sanctuary. When you begin to get inspired by Yah and you love the Almighty, you're going to build a sanctuary. You're going to build an altar. And this is what our fathers did. They built an altar. Look it up. Just look up the word altar. They built an altar everywhere they pitched a tent and to dwell. They built an altar. And they would take their sacrifices right there. Let me read this in the book of Psalms 119. And excuse me for my tarry and over expounding on certain scriptures tonight, but I feel like it's necessary to drive certain points home. But this point right here, in the book of Psalms 119, and you're going to read, what do it say in verse 47? It's a few verses you want to read in Psalms 119. This book. Verse 47. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. And we're going to read a few of these. But I want you to get excited about this because this is how it looks to have love and affection of the Almighty. You love his commandments. You love it. And I don't care. Moreh Elisha came on the scene and told everybody that they cannot celebrate the Passover. But when he brought that understanding, it was out of love for Yahweh's word. It was out of love for his commandments. And you never seen and you never will see us take a stance against the Passover and begin to scorn our brothers because they keeping the Passover. And yes, we got brothers to this day celebrating the Passover, although the word of Yah says you cannot celebrate this holy day outside of Jerusalem. But what did Moreh Elisha tell us? He said, listen, we can't keep it here, but we can at least gather ourselves together and memorialize Yahweh at that time. Yahweh didn't say we couldn't acknowledge him at this time. And so that's how we should be stirred up. Like, listen, we can't keep it, but during that time, during that season, we're going to come together and we're going to praise the mighty Yah. And we're going to commemorate him for what he did. But we ain't putting no lambs on no grills. We ain't putting no blood on no doorposts. We ain't about to dare even act like we're trying to celebrate this thing. This is holiness. But we're going to come together during that season, and that's how you talk when you really love the Almighty. When you love the commandments. How can you show love when you exemplify hate? And no, we're not taking that stance against our brothers. Only thing we can do is teach you. We done already put the teachings out there, and so we don't have to keep tarrying with it and kicking and beating down a dead horse. When they see fit to say, hey, they want to talk about it, then we'll talk about it. But we're not on a renegade mission to stand against our brothers because of what they're doing. Look what it says further. But brothers want to make a renegade and go against you because that's hate for the Almighty. It's like the spirit of Cain. You actually hate the Almighty, so therefore you will show your hate through hating your brother. And you're not taking a stance against me. I didn't create the Sabbath day. Yahweh created it, and he just told us to observe it. And so on that day, instead of going on this vengeful renegade against your brothers and sisters, maybe on that day you should be praising Yah and say, listen, man, I know we can't keep the Sabbath day today, but I still got to praise my maker today. Because today is still the seventh day of the week, unless you don't believe that. It's still the seventh day of the week. We can't keep the seventh day, but you know what? If I can get off of work, I'm going to just take off out of honor for my Yah, because he didn't work today. But I don't hear these kind of songs of love. And at the end of the day, we know that ain't the true way, but I can have a respect for that. Because at least a person showing that, look, I still love the Almighty. So I'm going to do the best I can. I'm not about to be on this renegade mission. And for my brothers that's out here keeping the Sabbath day, look, you can't keep it, but praise Yah, you still praising Yah today. You praising him on that day. You singing songs to him on that day. He deserved that. But that ain't what we hear. Look what it says in the next verse. The 48th verse says, my hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved. I will meditate in thy statutes. How is you lifting your hands up to the commandments? How you lifting your hands up to that fourth commandment, which even comes before the next commandment is honor your father and mother. And I bet you do that, but the Sabbath day is more important. The sixth commandment is thou shalt not murder. But the Sabbath day comes before that because it's more important. So we can't keep taking these stands, and we only putting this out there to give our people something to consider that, listen, if you truly love the Almighty, you got to get off your vengeful vendettas. Yahweh say vengeance belong to him. So we don't have to go on these vengeful renegades against one another. Yahweh said, love your brother as yourself. Yahweh said, don't stand against the blood of your brother. And you can't inspire another brother by trying to offend your brother. You only can inspire your brother through love, through sacrifice. Look what it says further in the 97th verse of this Psalms 119. Oh, how I love your law. It is my meditation all the day. It's my meditation all the day. I ain't got time to talk about what my brother's doing, what they ain't doing. I'm just trying to teach the truth. And the truth is not just dealing with the Sabbath day. That's all I got to know. The truth is dealing with all 10 of the commandments. The truth is dealing with all 7 of the covenants. The truth is dealing with all 7 of the feast days, the holy days. You got 7 requirements to talk about. This is why we don't have to get ourselves caught up on one subject and then let this one subject, this one situation, cause us to have nothing but strife and debate in our relationship. Listen, look what it says in the book of Proverbs. Let me get out of Psalms real quick. Proverbs, the 6th chapter. Because these other verses was just going to show you how these brothers love the law, love the commandments, love the judgments, love the statutes, love the testimonies. And if we love these things, we should have a burning affection for these things, for these words. And we ain't trying to take no stands against these holy days we can't keep. We just trying to show honor to these days we can't keep. Proverbs, the 6th chapter. Let me show you this. The 16th verse. These 6 things does Yahweh hate. And if you love the Almighty, this is something that you definitely should pay attention to. And as you learn, the haters of the Almighty, they're not going to pay attention to these things. Matter of fact, these are the things that they're invested in because they hate the Almighty. So they do things that he hates. But when you love the Almighty, you're going to try your best to stay away from these things. And it says, 7 are even abomination unto him, a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to running to mischief, A false witness is number 6. A false witness that speaketh lies. That's number 6. And then number 7. He that soweth discord amongst brethren. So which the 7th, and the 7th means to separate. It means to be sanctified. Now here it is. You got this brother that's separating people through a vengeful vendetta against Yah's commandments, against Yah's people, showing hate, showing strife and debate. Don't you know Yahweh hates strife and debate? This is why Abraham told his nephew Lot, the last thing we're going to sit here and do is strive with one another. I refuse to do this because I love Yahweh too much to sit here and allow Yahweh to watch me partake in some complete foolishness. As if he ain't watching. As if he don't matter. As if I don't love him and I don't fear him. I'm not about to sit here and partake in no strifeful, vengeful vendetta with my own brother. I would dare not show that before the Almighty. This is wickedness. But the praise Yah is that his mercy endures forever. That's a place that we all have to get ourselves from. Striving with one another. Yahweh hates it. Yahweh said in the book of Isaiah 58, he said, you fast for strife and debate. Now here it is, we in the 400 year of our captivity. No matter what the debate is, we in this year, and whether you believe it or not, this year has been pretty hectic for everybody. Our people dying, their people dying. This ain't the time to be striving and debating with one another. This is the time that we should be pulling together, holding hands, hugging one another, and trying to make amends for a lot of things that we done against one another. Yahweh said he that soweth discord amongst brothers. And so this is not what we want to do. Sow discord in any shape, form, or fashion. So look at the book of Psalms, the 1st chapter. And we just got about maybe one more scripture after this. The max is 2. But the book of Psalms, the 1st chapter. For those that love the Almighty. If you love Yahweh, then you love his words. And what is his word? His statutes, his judgments, his commandments, his laws, his precepts, his testimonies. You're going to love all of it because you have no relationship with Yahweh without it. In the book of Psalms, the 1st chapter, it says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Don't you know that scornful when you're sitting around calling your brother anything that's derogatory? When you sit around talking bad about your brother and you on a renegade, vengeful mission to make your brother look bad, your sister, when your delight is supposed to be in the laws of Yah. As it says in the 2nd verse, if you want to be blessed, and in his law does he meditate day and night, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. And Yahweh has blessed us, because this is all we about. He's prospered us. We're not prosperous because we got this new sanctuary that we're dwelling in. We're not prosperous because of none of the things that you might see with your naked eye. when you come around this sanctuary. Because you can get caught up into the looks of things. And just because you got this and that and look like you're going on, that don't mean you're blessed. A lot of people got this bigger and more and better. The reason why Yahweh has blessed us is because of his word. This is why when we was in a little hole in the wall of a sanctuary, we were still blessed. Because everything was all about the word of Yah. We wasn't on no renegade, and we still not on a renegade, a vengeful renegade, to make a stance against any of our brothers. All we did was brought the truth as Yahweh revealed it to us. And we brought it line upon line, here a little and there a little. And if you disagree with us in any kind of way, then let's just deal with the word. We don't have to deal with emotions and feelings and none of that. Because we brothers at the end of the day. And if we really love the Almighty, there's nothing too hard for Yah. All we got to do is hold hands and pray and ask Yahweh to make us whole, make us one. But that's what love will do, and that's how love look. But you don't see that. You see brothers and sisters making stands and proclamations against one another, but don't even call their own brother or sister phone or go to their brother or sister house. And even if you don't go to nobody's house or call nobody's phone, why are you making a stance? Just teach Yahweh's word and show the truth. His delight is in the law of Yah, and in his law does he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither. Whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. And see, yes, you can have a tree, but some trees lose their leaves. Some trees begin to rotten out. Some trees lose its blessing to bear fruit. And so don't get caught up in the trees today. And the last scripture. Well, the one before the last. Let's go to Psalms 50, verse 23. And then we'll go to Isaiah 66. And that'll conclude tonight. Psalms 50, verse 23 reads, and actually, let's start up at verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. Don't you know that showing and sowing discord? You sowing seeds of strife and debate. You putting this in his ear, you putting that in his ear, you putting this on his mind and that on his mind, and it's all negativity because you're speaking against your brother. It says further, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. And thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one of yourself. You think that the holy, righteous Yah is sitting around wasting his time talking about what the wicked do and what the wicked don't do? The wicked is wicked. I don't have no time to waste on the wicked. My only hope, Yahweh said, I just turn my back on the wicked. I turn my face from the wicked. And my hope is that they come around here where I can see them doing some right things and good things. But other than that, I turn my back on them. We don't have no time to talk about them. We got too many things on our plate of righteousness and good things to do to be talking about the wicked and what they're doing. And if we wicked, don't waste your time on us talking about us. Just go out here and sow seeds of righteousness. But if you're sowing seeds of strife and debate and just speaking against your brother, Yahweh said, listen, you thought I was altogether such as yourself, because I sat back and let you get away with this foolishness. But I will reprove thee, and I'm going to set them order before your eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget Elohim. Because you sure enough done forgot the Almighty. You don't even know that Yahweh hate this. And he done shown us through all kinds of examples. He hated. He says, consider this, ye that forget Elohim, lest I tear you in pieces. Because that's what I'm about ready to do if you don't wake yourself up. I don't know. I don't even want to see my brothers torn in pieces. That's a nightmare. That a movie, I got to close my eye. I don't want to see that. There be none to deliver. Whoso offers praise, glorify me. So that's what you should be doing, offering praise. Get on your Facebooks and get on your whatever platform you got and offer praise to the Almighty. And when you're doing that, you're glorifying the Almighty. You magnifying the Almighty. Not heaping up strife and debate and turmoil and bad energy and bad spirits, hateful vengefulness and vendetta against your own brothers and sisters. Scriptures say peace and righteousness has kissed. Just because we believe different, we can still have peace if we got righteousness in our midst. I don't know everything, you don't know everything. But if we both righteous, then we should have some peace amongst one another. Not strife and debate and vengeance. It says, whoso offer praise, they glorify me. To him that order his conversation aright, will I show the salvation of Elohim. Hallelujah. And the last scripture is recorded in the book of Isaiah, the 66th chapter. This is for the lovers of the Almighty. We love his words. And this is why, if it's not to the law and to the testimony, we believe, we know and understand that there is no light in it. It must be line upon line upon line again, precept upon precept upon precept again. Here little and there little. We come in a volume of the book, for it is written of us. This is our life. And so this is where our dwelling of safety is. In the book of Isaiah 66, it says, in the 5th verse, hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his words. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my sake, for my name's sake. This is the reason they hate you. This is the reason they trying to cast you out, close you down, shut your doors, and nail up your windows and turn your lights completely off. They doing it because they hate you for my name's sake. Let Yahweh be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. A voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yah that rendereth recompense to his enemies. So Yahweh said, tell us, tremble at the Almighty's word, because this is the man that Yahweh is looking for. And I have to read the 2nd verse of the same chapter. Yahweh said, for all those things have my hand made, and all those things have been, says Yah, but to this man will I look, even to him that's poor and of a contrite spirit. He's poor and contrite. He's not trying to debate and fight nobody. He's not trying to strive. He'll put the truth out there and then he'll leave it alone. He's not trying to kindle up no sparks and flames with his own family. At the end of the day, if we can't agree, we're just going to agree to disagree, and we're just going to move on and just pray to Yah to make the crooked thing straight. But it says he's poor and contrite, and trembles at my word. He reverences my word. He's got too much honor. I would never, hopefully anyway, I would never say to my brother in any kind of derogatory way, you old Passover keeper, you fake phony servant, because you a Passover keeper. You foolish, you stupid Passover keeper. I would never even put the Passover in that kind of sentence. I got too much respect for Yahweh's Passover. And my brothers that's making a sacrifice, although they living in the dark, I'm not about to stand against them like that. I'm going to let Yahweh take that and handle that, because vengeance belongs unto him. And yes, we try to take vengeance with our mouths by slurring and slandering and uttering hateful things, throwing stones with our words. You Sabbath day keeper. No, I love the Sabbath day. I love Yahweh way too much to even invoke a hateful spirit and connect it to his commandments. The Sabbath day don't do nothing but represent love. All the servants, all the men servants, male servants, all the animals, everybody get the day to rest. It represents righteousness. I praise the mighty Yah for his knowledge, his wisdom, and understanding. I praise Yahweh that he has given us his book. For he told us that the book of remembrance was written for them that feared and thought upon his name. And now we have a book that we can refer to, a book that can lead us and guide us in our affairs, in our life. And it's his book. He says, seek ye out of my book and read. Meditate in it day and night. And you will be this tree. You will be that jewel that Yahweh said is going to be his in the latter days. So I praise Yahweh for this opportunity to stand before my people this evening, my friends, to indulge in this beautiful word of Yah. I hope that you receive something. And with that being said, I love Yah. Therefore, I love you. We love you here at the House of Israel. We love our brothers and sisters out there in the other house of it. We are one house of Israel. We just broken up. We're a face of confusion, but we're still just one nation. But Yahweh is going to make the crooked thing straight. And until then, Yahweh love you, and so do we. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Live free. Come on. Fourth tribe. For 100 centuries. Yeah. Let's go. Take a look at my soul. Nothing left but these hoes. They tried to take me down, but Yah is in control. So now I ask you, you suddenly black too? The oppressor ain't fair when he attacked you. Started wars cause they tried to tax you. You should be asking who they was taxing. Now what? Prices on our backs and the IRS wanted in on the back end. Lincoln was never down for emancipation, just good political relations to try to make a good case for the next election. Yet Jim Crow came right back in the field, certified with a government seal. Crowley tried to stand up with zeal. Sadly, he thought that Jesus was real. They gave us them fake moves and education to keep us concealed.
Take a look at my soul. All I wanna do is
centuries of this horrid slavery. But Yah, he is the king, and he will save me. So now I ask you, will you drop to your knees and beg Yah, please? Don't you know that Yah is coming? It's like tomorrow. I can't even tell you the time on your Audemars. Just guard your heart, baby Paul, baby dog. Don't cry. Paparazzi never cared about them tears. No way. Just fear my Yah all day. Rest in him, just like the song say. I'm waiting for the day that he sit on the throne. Till then I'm stuck in my zone, staying focused on the day when he finally take us home. Till then I'm prophesying to the dry bones. Till that day that I'm gone and Yah reveal what he has shown. That Yahweh is Elohim, is him and none alone.
Take a look at my soul. All I wanna do is go. There's nothing left of me, of this horrid slavery. For 100 centuries, nothing left for you to hold. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. All I want to be is with my Yah and live free. Live free. Yeah. Take a look at my soul. All I wanna do is go. There's nothing left of me, of this horrid slavery. For 100 centuries, left for you to hold.